Greetings children, Captain Disillusion here, and boy do I have a fun topic for you today. Some might think this one's for the birds, but when it comes to the world's largest living bird, I say we better catch the early worm. Check out this insane video of ostriches skiing the slopes like pros. What? My mind is getting blown harder and harder with every in-run, every takeoff, and every knoll. How do they do it? I'm pretty sure ostriches can't be trained to ski, but even if they could, why would a ski resort let you put one on a ski lift, let alone endanger them?
Man, YouTube used to be cool. Seriously, when those three guys started YouTube in their garage in 2005, it was about something real. Then Google bought it, whenever that was, and has just been running it into the ground ever since. It's like, stop making improvements that keep this the best video sharing platform in the world and focus on what really matters. Ensuring that every single subscriber sees every single thing I post every single time. Is that so much to ask? I mean, just because people now subscribe to hundreds and hundreds of channels doesn't mean we need to employ some sort of algorithm to curate the avalanche of content in their massive subscription feeds. And we should definitely not give them the option of overriding this algorithm with a single button. Oh, I hate that bell so much.
The video absolutely must be fake. But to figure out exactly what we're dealing with, our first question should be, just where does this video come from?
It's actually one of several promotional spots created for a campaign called Japan Snow Project. In an attempt to revive the country's dwindling snow leisure market in 2004, the three major transportation carriers responsible for access to ski resorts, Japan Railway East, Japan Airlines, and All Nippon Airways, teamed up to sponsor this lighthearted series of ads which borrowed the already popular ostrich character from the previous year's campaign by JR East. The videos were produced by the Tokyo-based creative agency Tugboat and filmed by the Tohoku Shinsha Film Corporation under the supervision of Hideyuki Tanaka, an art director with a strong background in CGI character animation.
Now, it's easy to just file this under "it's CGI" and move on to the next viral video, but that kind of attitude doesn't really help us become more.
The thing that no one seems to understand because they don't know about the button I have that shows all the charts is that the videos of some of my fellow content creators are being recommended less and less. It's that damned algorithm. What else could it be? It's the only thing that's been changing recently according to, well, not YouTube, but anecdotal evidence from my fellow content creators. I know what hasn't been changing: our viewers. Good old, unchangeable, predictable, simple-minded YouTube viewers. They don't have the capacity to grow, to evolve their tastes towards something objectively better and reshape the trends of media consumption, so they certainly don't need to be included as a variable in my complicated theory about how the YouTube algorithm is designed to over me and my fellow content creators.
And of ourselves. So, were these ads possible to make with the limited visual effects technology of 2004?
Well, it wasn't exactly the Stone Age. Harry Potter 3, Spider-Man 2, The Day After Tomorrow, The Aviator, Hellboy, Alien vs. Predator all came out in 2004 and all employed some form of placing CG models into live-action environments. Also Sky Captain and The World of Tomorrow. Japan Snow Project, which ironically may have been filmed in New Zealand, relied heavily on a visual effects technique known as rig removal. It's an entire specialty in the craft of digital compositing, erasing props, structures, and people from live-action shots. It can be as simple as covering up things filmed in a stationary angle with unobstructed moments in the footage, or as complex as building a 3D replica of the environment and hand-painting missing background details. After filming real skiers perform, meticulous rig removal was the first step in the Snow Project visual effects process. With clean background plates, the filmmakers could now theoretically put some other computer-generated character in the stunt performer's place.
But in order to animate this new character in a realistic way, they first needed to recreate the motions of the camera and the performers in 3D. To do that, they used motion.
My fellow content creators are being slightly affected by a temporary problem, and I need to take action. I should complain to my viewers about this very relatable problem. maybe a dramatic threat to delete my channel when I reach 300,000 subscribers, which, because of my reputation for being goofy and ironic with my viewers, the rest of the world will totally understand as a joke. That's it. As soon as I'm done here, I'll make the video that finally... What the... Someone beat me to it! Who is this PewDiePie? And where does he get off? 50 million subscribers? Oh, boo-hoo! Cry me a river. Here's what I think about your millionaire problems.
The exact camera angles and lighting are locked in, freeing the artists to focus on animation. But even so, these animated ostriches are just a little too real, aren't they?
How did a small tourism promo achieve such natural feather simulations when even the most groundbreaking feature films of the same year struggled to realistically depict that type of overlapping action? The answer might be hidden in plain sight. Intercut with the hero shots of the ostriches doing stunts are cutaways of them casually hanging out with other skiers. In this group shot, a person convincingly pats the ostrich's body. This very brief angle at a picnic table shows complex shadows from the ostrich's torso and wings falling on nearby objects. This would be extremely difficult to fake and unnecessary for such a throwaway moment. And in this scene of the ostrich trying to fit through the ski lift gate, he visibly pushes the railing, the feathers interact with it, and the tail realistically bumps into the person behind. And finally, a small imperfection, perhaps the only imperfection in the entire series, is visible. Part of the shaking railing below remains frozen. It's a rig removal patch hiding what was really there. But why would only the area below the torso be hidden? Unless this ostrich torso with its flapping wings and complex feathers is really there. You know, like a puppet or a realistic partial costume, perhaps custom made by one of a number of special effects makeup companies specializing in animal anatomy. Come to think of it, real ostriches are a bit bigger than they appear in these ads, but the torsos of these would seem to fit nicely on the shoulder area of a human performer, and help the geometry of what happens in many of the shots make a lot more sense. With this major, visually complex part of the creature taken care of in the photography, the rig removers only need to worry about erasing the performer's limbs, the match movers have a nice, large object on which to track and solve the motion, and the animators only need to add solid textured heads and legs to the image, which is exactly what they did after capturing detailed reference images of a real ostrich in a studio and using them to texture an animated 3D model.
Hey, I never said it was easy. But as usual, the most convincing effects came from combining the practical and the digital. As viewers, we might be familiar with any one technique.
Oh, looks like I'm not the only one poking fun at that guy. Some people are being unreasonable though. Whoa, okay, that article just called him straight up racist. That's over the line. I'm starting to rethink my tweet. And now my recent inexplicable influx of gamer fans are turning on me. Perfect. I hope they never find out that the only video games I've ever played are Sonic the Hedgehog, Mortal Kombat, Back to the Future, and Portal 2. When will this year be over?
In the end, these ostrich clips accomplish what few viral ads and no OK Go videos other than that first one managed to do. Impress me. But now I'm afraid it's time for me to go, kids. Remember, love with your heart, use your head for everything else. Captain Disillusion! Whoa, girl, whoa! Hi-yo, Sachiko, away!
Maybe beating the YouTube algorithm isn't up to me. And if I just keep making stuff to the best of my ability, at a pace I'm comfortable with, my audience will seek me out against all odds and enjoy every silly moment because it's just binary data on a website owned by a company based in a country on a continent of a small planet. It could all be gone like that.